In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis and Ghana have signed a visa waiver agreement, making travel easier and strengthening cultural and people-to-people connections. The United States and Venezuela have agreed to restore diplomatic relations after 7 years, and Hungary has expelled 7 Ukrainian bank workers in a case that has triggered a diplomatic dispute between Budapest and Kiev. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is Friday, the 6th day of March, and I am Jasmine Thomas. St. Kitts and Nevis and Ghana have signed a visa exemption agreement for holders of ordinary passports. The agreement was signed earlier this week by Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew during his official state visit to the West African nation. Under the agreement, citizens of both countries will be able to travel between St. Kitts and Nevis and Ghana without the need for a visa. Officials say the measure is expected to make travel easier and create more opportunities for tourism, business, education, and cultural exchange. Prime Minister Drew said the agreement will help strengthen practical connections between the two countries and make it easier for citizens to engage with each other. St. Kitts and Nevis and Ghana previously signed a visa waiver agreement in 2018 for holders of diplomatic and official passports. The new agreement now extends that arrangement to holders of ordinary passports, further expanding travel and the cooperation between the two nations. The St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force hosted a high-level security meeting at Camp Springfield this week as part of efforts to strengthen regional and international partnerships. Acting Commander of the force, Major Coyote Sutton, recently welcomed a high-level delegation to Camp Springfield on Tuesday for talks focused on security, cooperation, and collaboration. The visiting group included U.S. Chargé d'Affaires Karen Sullivan, United States Ambassador to Guyana Nicole Theriot, Executive Director of the Regional Security System Rear Admiral Errington Sherland, and Colonel Michael Jones of the Caribbean Community Implementation Agency for Crime and Security. During the meeting, Major Sutton emphasized the value of strategic partnerships and pointed to the role of the United States Partnership Program in supporting cooperation between the St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force and the Florida National Guard. He said collaboration of this kind helps to improve operational readiness, build professional capacity, and strengthen coordination with regional and international partners. The Defense Force says engagements like these support its ongoing modernization and professional development while also reinforcing its role in promoting security and stability across the region. Some of the Federation's sharpest young minds are preparing to take the stage at the 54th Leeward Islands debating competition. The Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College team representing St. Kitts includes Taisha Tate, Dejaden Dunrod, Frema de la Cruz, Lizette James, Kayla Penny, and Cherise Antoine. The competition will be held in Nevis at the Nevis Performing Arts Center from the 12th to the 15th of March. Student debaters from St. Kitts, Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, Montserrat, and Saint Martin will take part in the regional event. The competition will test participants on their ability to analyze complex issues, develop strong arguments, and present their positions with confidence and clarity. As they prepare to represent the Federation, the CFBC and Nevis teams are expected to showcase the critical thinking discipline and academic excellence of St. Christopher Nevis's next generation of leaders. On the regional scene, the United States and Venezuela have agreed to re-establish diplomatic relations, marking a significant shift in a relationship that has been strained for years. The announcement was made by the U.S. State Department following talks this week between officials from both countries. The move comes after a series of visits by U.S. officials to Caracas in the recent weeks as Washington seeks to rebuild political and economic engagement with the South American country. Diplomatic ties between the two countries were cut in 2019 after the United States recognized opposition figure Juan Guaido as interim president, a decision rejected by the government of Nicolas Maduro. The State Department says the current talks are focused on supporting a phased process toward political stability and a democratic transition in Venezuela. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez welcomed the decision, saying the restoration of relations could open the door to greater cooperation and mutual benefit between the two countries. And the government of Antigua and Barbuda plans to introduce a 3-month immigration amnesty for certain undocumented migrants. Cabinet announced Thursday that the program is scheduled to begin on the 22nd of April and will apply to people who have been living in the country for at least 4 years without legal status. A government spokesperson said the initiative is part of proposed changes to the country's immigration laws. Under the plan, eligible applicants will be required to provide a police record from both their country of origin and from Antigua and Barbuda, covering the previous 2 years. Cabinet also agreed to reduce the $500 amnesty application fee proposed in the bill to $250. The Chief Immigration Officer will be responsible for reviewing and approving applications submitted during the amnesty period. The proposed immigration amendment bill will be debated in Parliament later this month. On the international scene, Hungary says it is expelling 7 Ukrainian bank employees after they were detained while transporting millions of dollars in cash and gold through the country. Hungarian authorities said the group was arrested on Thursday while moving about $80 million and 9 kilograms of gold in security vehicles heading toward Ukraine. The country's tax and customs authorities says the detentions are part of a money laundering investigation. Ukraine, however, says the employees were part of a routine cash transport between Austria and Ukraine and were unjustifiably detained. Ukraine's State Savings Bank said the transfer was a regular operation and insisted the staff had done nothing wrong. The arrests have triggered a sharp diplomatic dispute with Ukraine, accusing Budapest of seizing the money and holding the workers. The Hungarian government has also questioned why such large sums were being moved in cash rather than through bank transfers. Relations between Hungary and Ukraine have been tense in recent months, with disagreements over energy supplies, European Union aid, and the ongoing war with Russia. And British police have arrested 4 men as part of a counter-terrorism investigation linked to Iran. The Metropolitan Police say 1 Iranian national and 3 dual British-Iranian citizens were detained on suspicion of assisting a foreign intelligence service. Authorities say the investigation involves suspected surveillance of locations and individuals connected to Jewish communities in London. Commander Helen Flanagan of Counter-Terrorism Policing London said the action forms part of a long-running investigation aimed at disrupting what she described as malign activity. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood said Britain's security services would continue to use all available powers to counter any threat to the country. Police said the men were detained under the National Security Act, legislation introduced in 2023 to strengthen laws against foreign interference. Officials also confirmed that 6 other men were also arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender. All 10 men remain in custody as the investigation continues. We now take a look at the weather. Clouds continue to linger across St. Kitts and Nevis at this hour, with a few showers still moving through the area. Winds are coming in from the east-northeast at about 17 miles per hour. More broadly, winds across the area range between 14 to 21 miles per hour, with gusts pushing close to 30 miles per hour, particularly over open waters and in higher elevations. At sea, conditions remain somewhat rough. Wave heights are between 1.8 and 2.4 meters. That's about 6 to 8 feet, with swells around 1.8 meters. High surf advisory therefore remains in effect. For the rest of today, expect a mix of sun and cloud early on, with cloud over increasing at times and 60% chance of brief afternoon showers. Tonight, skies will range from partly cloudy to cloudy, with a 70% chance of showers developing overnight. Sunset this evening will be at around 6:18, and sunrise tomorrow is expected to be at approximately 20 minutes past 6. That brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. God bless you.